Many people don't realize this, but long before European interpretations of scripture took hold, parts of Africa were unknowingly preserving the Torah. These weren't just cultural habits. They reflected divine commands given to the Israelites, from diet to worship, from purity to justice. Africa showed us a living connection to the Most High's Torah. Diet and cleanliness. Let's start with what we eat. In many West African communities, like the Yoruba or Igbo, certain clans avoided eating pork. This wasn't superstition. It mirrors the Torah's instruction to avoid what is unclean. For example, the Beta Israel of Ethiopia, often called the House of Israel, strictly avoided pork and shellfish and practiced ritual slaughter resembling Shekita, lawful slaughter. Their customs reflect Leviticus 11. Likewise, the Yoruba community of Iwoye Kwetu in Nigeria historically forbade pig rearing altogether, calling it a community taboo passed down for generations. Beyond spiritual obedience, these commands carry divine wisdom. Avoiding unclean animals reduced diseases, risks, and proper slaughter preserved both hygiene and reverence for life. Sabbath and sacred days. Time itself is sacred in Torah. The seventh day, the Sabbath, was set apart for rest and worship. Many African societies mirrored the same rhythm. The Beta Israel community in Ethiopia observed the Sabbath on the seventh day long before outside influence, resting from labor and dedicating the day to prayer and study, directly aligning with Exodus 20. Among the Zulu, sacred rest days existed in connection with festivals such as Umkosi Wakweshama, the first fruits festival, where no work or hunting was permitted. This mirrors Leviticus 23's appointed times. Even without the written scrolls, these African communities carried the rhythm of sacred time, weaving holiness into the flow of everyday life, purity, and ritual cleanses. The Torah is precise about purity. When women had their monthly flow, she entered into a time of separation until purification was complete. Likewise, when a man released seed, he was to wash and remain unclean until evening. Across Africa, similar customs were observed. Among the Beta Israel, women who had their monthly flow stayed in separate huts and underwent ceremonial washing before returning to normal duties, mirroring Leviticus 15. New mothers observed purification periods after childbirth before rejoining the community, just as in Leviticus 12. Communities also kept apart those with skin afflictions, much like the Torah's guidance in Leviticus chapter 13 verse 14. These weren't empty rituals, they were living echoes of divine wisdom, safeguarding both holiness and health, moral and social ethics. The Torah isn't only about ritual, it's about righteousness and justice. Farmers were instructed to leave the corners of their fields for the poor and the stranger. Across Africa, similar values shaped community life among the Akan and Akamba peoples. It was customary to leave part of the harvest for widows, orphans, and travelers, mirroring Leviticus 19 and Deuteronomy chapter 24. Justice was community-based. Elders functioned like Torah judges, ensuring fairness, resolving disputes, and upholding truth. Theft, lying, and coveting were condemned long before written law arrived. These customs prove that Torah principle of mercy, honesty, and social balance were alive and well in African daily life. Festival and sacred seasons. The Torah lays out appointed times, festivals, and seasons of rejoicing to remind the people of the Most High's covenant. In West Africa, the Igbo New Yam Festival, Iwa Aji, celebrates the harvest in gratitude to the Creator, just like Sukkot, the festival of booths. In Southern Africa, the Zulu First Fruits Festival, Umhosi wa Hweshama, is a communal thanksgiving to the Almighty for provision and renewal, echoing Torah's Festival of Harvest. Even without knowing Leviticus 23 by heart, Africa's sacred calendars beat in harmony with the Creator's timing. Spiritual and cultural continuity. All of this reveals something powerful. Africa was not disconnected from Torah, it was preserving it. The Better Israel, despite isolation and pressure from Christian and Muslim empires, kept the Sabbath, dietary laws, and purity codes for centuries. Their survival proves that divine instruction can outlast exile and empire. Spirituality was built into how people ate, rested, purified themselves, and treated one another, in contrast to many later societies that claimed Israelites' identity, lost the practice. Holding religion without obedience and faith without rhythm, reflection, and implications. The message is clear. Being an Israelite is not just about lineage, it's about walking in covenant alignment with the Most High. Africa preserves a hidden heritage of obedience, wisdom, and holiness. These people didn't merely read the Torah, they lived it. Their customs were living covenants, echoing through generations. Today, by studying these traditions, we rediscover how the Torah is not just an ancient scroll, it's a living way of life. Africa's story reminds us that when the world forgets the Most High's ways, the Spirit of the Most High writes it on the hearts of His people.